Hi guys, this is Tracy with Inside Pool Magazine. As you know, I've started this movement with the kids and it's going spectacular. Tonight we have a young gun out of the state of Oklahoma. He's coming live from Deep Pockets. He's going to show us a little bit about his game and he's going to talk a little bit about himself. Tyler Smith is well known in that area, and his grandmother actually owned the same venue once upon a time. So a lot of people know this young gun out of Oklahoma. So tonight we're coming live out of Tulsa at Deep Pockets, and this is Tyler Smith. I'm going to run his promo video, and you're going to get the opportunity to get to meet Mr. Tyler Smith. So this is Ty, guys. We got an empty spot. Boy, we're having some technical difficulties this evening, ladies and gentlemen, but we will work it out. Tyler, could you introduce yourself, please?
I'm Tyler Smith. I'm from Sand Springs, Oklahoma. I'm 14 years old. I'm a 481 Fargo. I'm happy to be here today, Tracy.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. A little birdie told me you have some extracurricular activities that you enjoy too. Could you fill us in on that?
I do. On the side of playing pool, I like to go out and play music. I play guitar.
And awesome. Do you write your own stuff, Tyler?
I have been lately. I've been writing a little bit, but been focusing on pool lately.
I understand. There's a lot of tournaments out there. What's the biggest tournament you've attended, and how did you end up at that tournament?
I think the biggest tournament I've attended was probably the BCA Nationals in Vegas, Junior Nationals. I don't exactly remember how good I did in that because that was a while back, but right. I just got back from Vegas for the BEF and I got fifth through sixth in that tournament. And that was
congratulations. Was that in the 18 and under, or was that in the 14 and under?
It was in the 14 under division.
Nice. You did well. You did well. Any other tournaments you plan on attending anytime soon?
In August, I plan on going to Sacramento for the other BEF tournaments.
Awesome. Right. Well, let's go ahead and get started and ask Tyler a couple of questions. And like we normally do with most of our kids, let's see. At what age did you begin playing pool, Tyler?
I started playing pool around 5 because my grandma owned a pool hall, but I started taking it seriously about 2 years ago.
And I'm pretty sure grandmother wouldn't mind having her name broadcast out there. Could you give a big shout out to grandma?
Yeah, big shout out to my grandma, Cindy Smith, for helping me along this way and giving me so much hope in this big world of pool.
It takes a village. It really does. And when you have parents and grandparents that sit there and help cultivate that for you, it leaves a lasting impression. You've got some great ambassadors there for yourself there, Ty. We have a chatter in the room. Mike and Daisy says, awesome. Michael Giles in Diamond Billiards in Modesto, California here, doing a great job. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. And Tyler appreciates it as well.
Thank you, guys.
Okay, let's see. Who has been your biggest motivator or support system so far?
Well, that's obviously got to be mom, dad, and grandma. But my sponsors have been very, very supportive, and I'm very thankful for all my sponsors.
Well, you go ahead and tell us who is sponsoring you right now, Tyler.
Right now, I'm with OBQs, Jeremy and Amy Jones with OBQs. I'm with Heather and Charlie Bryant with Brutal Game Gear. I'm with Deep Pockets Bar and Bistro here in Tulsa with Bruce and Jen. And then I'm with On the Ball Crew with Gus and Jamie Magadasi.
Fantastic. We appreciate you guys taking care of this junior player. He has a bright future. And if pool isn't your thing, now, ladies and gentlemen, I've heard this child play, and he is fantastic. So if you don't see him on the pool scene, I'm pretty sure you're going to hear a little bit coming out of Nashville for this kid. He's fantastic, I promise you. Michelle says, I'm so amazed by this great young man. He is phenomenal. He is definitely phenomenal. Let's move on along there, Ty.
All right.
Do you have a favorite professional player? And if you do, why?
That's got to be Chris Reinhold for me, because about a year ago, Chris came up to Tulsa to do a juniors clinic, and that's just an experience I'll never forget.
He's a phenomenal person. He's very talented with his photography as well, and a very well-rounded individual. I'm hoping with these more of these tournaments coming up, you guys will get to be exposed to more of these professional players as they're starting to come out and help more with our junior tournaments. So hopefully you'll be able to take a peek. You being from Oklahoma, you've never run into Joey Gray over there?
Oh, yeah. We've run into Joey a few times.
You can't miss him. He's all full of life and bigger than anything. Yeah. And I believe Shane McMahon's from around that area in Chip Compton as well.
It definitely is.
You guys have some great role models out there for sure.
Yes,
for
definitely.
Sure. And you're on that list as well, Mr. Tyler.
Thank you.
What has been your biggest accomplishment so far in your billiard career?
I gotta say, about a month ago, I went to Lawton, Oklahoma to attend Black Gold Championships. I won both 8 and 9 ball for the state championships, and that was probably my biggest victory so far.
So you probably have a whole room full of trophies.
No.
Well, hopefully we'll see one of those. Well, back in my day, I'm probably showing my age. Get you one of those big gold records to go on the wall next to Grandma's other trophies she has of you, sir. Okay. BCG in the house. Thank you so much for the comment, sir. Thank you so much. We appreciate you being here tonight. Okay. What has been your biggest lesson so far, Tyler?
My biggest lesson. It's probably, hard work pays off.
Right? Definitely.
Hard work pays off.
It definitely does.
The time you put in, you get back out on the table. Definitely.
How many hours do you think you play a week?
16 plus.
Really?
And just as much as I possibly can.
Do you happen to practice more right before a tournament, or is it just an ever going practice time for you?
Yeah, I definitely get out and practice a lot more, and go with a few of the bigger guys down here and kind of work with them before those bigger tournaments, and that always helps.
It does help. Does it? Have you noticed since you began playing? I know on your interview questions that I sent you, you said that you started playing a lot more around the age of 11. Is that correct? Or was it before then?
I was around 11, 12.
So competitively, when you're out there getting in the tournaments, you're around 11. Have you noticed, some of the kids have mentioned anxiety, and with our older kids, I like for you guys to explain how that feels for you guys as you've aged. I have another gentleman around your age named Gage Moret. He had explained that, as he's aged, he's learned to deal with that anxiety before playing. Do you feel like you're handling things at a more mature level as you've gotten older and the more experience on the table?
Yes, I definitely do. The anxiety is always going to be there, I feel like, no matter really how much you get used to it. But that's part of the game. You know what I mean? Right.
Absolutely. You have a fan in the chat. I'm going to put that up there. Jamie Compo says, on the ball crew is listening in Hutto, Texas for all your billiard services and needs. Thank you so much, guys. We will see you during the Texas Open. Thank you so much. Let's see, what else have we got? And what is one tournament you would like to attend and why, Tyler?
Ooh, I'd probably like to attend the Derby City Classic. I mean, because it's probably one of the biggest tournaments out there. You know, it'd just be amazing to be a part of that tournament. It would just be great.
Right. Years ago, they used to allow the kids into the venue, but because they remodeled the whole place, and now the casino is literally right in front, so you guys can't pass through. And I felt that pain. So many of the kids had showed up at Derby City just to hang out with me, and they couldn't because I was inside the venue, didn't know the kids were there. So hopefully we can figure something out, maybe put it at a different place outside the casino, possibly. That way you guys can actually try to attend some of the stuff. I wish it was at a different location so you guys would get the opportunity to actually be in the environment. It's a totally different atmosphere there. Right. And I feel like you guys are missing out. So maybe, just maybe, they'll listen to us and maybe move it somewhere else.
That'd be awesome.
Wouldn't it? I mean, I love Derby City, don't get me wrong, at the Horseshoe Casino or Caesar's Palace, whatever they're calling it this year or next year. I love it there, but I do think that you guys need the opportunity to get seasoned before you get thrown in there at 21. So right. Let's see. What else have we got? After high school, do you intend on furthering your education, or are you planning on just hitting the road and see where life takes you, Ty?
I plan on going to college. I don't know what for yet, but I definitely do plan on going to college.
You still have time. Trust me, you still have time. I didn't know what I was going to be when I grew up until after I had kids. A big shout out from Canada. Thank you so much, Fun with Non-Ball. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. These kids actually enjoy having a mix of different people coming on, especially from Canada. You guys might have a recommendation that Ty could use in a different event later on. So all of you guys, thank you so much.
Yeah.
And let's see, have your grades ever suffered because of any of these tournaments, or do you think you're holding your own?
No, I don't get to go out and play tournaments unless I keep my grades above straight B's or higher. So I always keep on the ball with grades.
Good deal. My thing was, even though it's something that you enjoy doing, and, having a job that you enjoy isn't really work, it's more fun. Right. But in order to get there, you have to learn the things that you need to learn, and school's very important. So I'm glad you're going to hang in there. Let's see what else. How have you handled the pressures associated with pool so far, especially these long grinds at some of these tournaments? I mean, you guys are young and you're out there grinding it out until almost 2 a.m. Are you handling those pressures okay?
Yeah, I've been handling it a lot better lately. This weekend I played it till 9 to 2 a.m.
Woo, that's a long time.
So I've kind of started to adjust to, because it gets really tiring playing and having to concentrate all day. But I've been starting to adjust to that.
Could you explain because a lot of the viewers, unless a lot of the viewers are adults and they understand what it feels like to be on the table in the pressures, especially those that are in leagues, and these leagues travel out to Vegas and they do all of that. But for you guys, it's just slightly different because your lives are very organized. You get up in the morning, you go to school. When you get done with school, you come home, you get your homework done, and then you go practice. So for you, it's slightly different. Those of us that work a 9 to 5, we work a 9 to 5 and we put it to bed. You guys, you've got a test tomorrow. So I'm curious, how do you handle that? And could you explain that to the audience on how it feels to be 13, 14 years old and doing something that you love, but still holding down your school stuff?
Well, for me, it's a little bit easier because I do virtual school. And so I can work ahead as much as I want. So I know
Nice.
that if I have a big tournament, like Sunday night, I can actually work the day before on schoolwork and kind of work ahead so I don't have to do all that. But
Okay.
it's really that's a big part of it for me is being able to work ahead so I can go and travel to places like Vegas and Illinois and Texas. It's really cool.
So, how many states have you hit so far in your short career?
Cool. It's a tough one. Played in or been through?
Played in.
Okay. Let's see. Texas, Illinois, Nevada, and I think that's about it.
That's not bad for 14.
And then
That's not
Oklahoma, obviously.
Oh,
But
obviously.
but
Obviously. Okay, let's see. And do you currently have a practice regime? Have you instilled something that when you get ready to go in practice before you just start playing someone, do you have some type of regime that you stick to?
besides from just getting in stroke, I don't really have a big one. I've been working on one lately, but I haven't fully finished it yet. So at the moment, no. But
Okay. Well,
that's
that sounds reasonable. That sounds reasonable. When Chris Ronhold was there, did he put on a clinic for you guys? Did you learn anything while he was there?
yes, I was about a year ago, so at the time it was more about fundamentals,
Oh, okay.
and that helped us a lot.
Nice. Okay, cool. Big shout out to Chris Ronhold. Thank you guys. Thank you so much for taking the time out with these kids. You know, it means a lot to you guys. I know it does to have these Moscone Cup people show up in your place and tell you, you know, what it was like for them and that kind of thing. So big props to Chris Ronhold. We appreciate it. Let's see. And the big question. In your opinion, Tyler, do you feel like the tournament directors, the venues, the media, um, do you feel like we're doing enough for you guys, or do you think we could do more to help support your junior events?
I feel like there could be a lot more, like a lot more things like you're doing here, Tracy, is amazing. First off, for what you're doing for all the juniors. And another thing is a lot of places are in Oklahoma, especially, are all smoking bars, and I can't get into places like that. And I just love if they could see that the future of the sport is very slowly going down because we can't get into a lot of places to play anymore.
Right. Okay. I like the honesty, and you know the viewers need to hear that, and I appreciate your honesty and your candor, because without you guys, we have no future. So that, you know, for me, I always thought that children should have a voice. And in order for us to change the way that the public views pool in general, we need to start with the kids because they are our future. And, you know, you will be the next Shane Van Boning or Skylar Woodward. That's what you
Right.
will be. And in order for you to be that, we need to give you places to play. So we need to stop smoking in the venues, people. Go outside. Okay, next. I used to be a smoker, so I completely get it. But, you know, sometimes life changes and life threw me a big curveball, and I definitely cleaned up everything and decided to do this, you know. And I think you guys deserve more places to play. Even if it's maybe 2 or 3 places around the state, you still need it. And, you know, because there's no competition if you're playing the same people every time. There's
Right.
no.
Right. Yeah.
And I feel like that's not helping you guys if you're playing the same individuals over and over and over again. So, moving on. If you could fast forward 10 years, Tyler, where do you see yourself?
I see myself continuing pool and taking it to the pro level, and definitely on the side still playing music. I wouldn't say traveling a lot for music, especially, but definitely continuing and taking my game to the next level in pool.
I think you'll get there. I think you'll get there. There's something about people who are artistic. I come from a music background myself, and my kids never picked that up. But for me, it helped me with my writing. It helped me be a little more forthcoming with what was going on in my head, and it also made me a decent pool player because for me, I could visualize myself playing and I could tune out everything else because in my head I already had a song going on. It just stayed on repeat while I was figuring out what my path was. So I think you're well on your way to getting what you want. I think so. And Fun with Non-Ball says you need a variety. You absolutely do. Tyler, do you have a specific game that you enjoy versus the other?
Um, like in pool,
Yeah, in pool in general,
um,
in billiards.
I've always really liked 10 ball and just rotation in general. I'm more of a rotation player.
I like the 10 ball too, and I think it's just the break is so difficult, and it's one of those
It
things I
adds a lot
just
more skill to the game.
right for me. It always has. Um, what other games do you play? Do you play any one pocket or snooker, anything
I
like
have
that?
been slowly learning one pocket and playing a lot more one pocket. I play 8 ball, 9 ball, 10 ball, all the tournaments. And that's pretty much it.
Have you
I
played any 14.1 or American rotation?
no, I haven't.
I think I can't remember who it was. Check out the American rotation on online. I think it would help your game a lot. We started playing that as a masters out here in Huntsville, Alabama, which is where I'm from, and it helped a lot of the players who weren't really gaining in the normal APA league. It helped their game a lot. So that's just a recommendation, and it's fun to play.
Right. Sounds
Let's
awesome.
let's see here. What say you had a little 6-year-old that came up and said, I bought this cue, but I don't know what to do with it. What advice would you give a newcomer to the game of pool?
Um, my biggest advice is just never give up. I mean, the game's definitely not easy, and I feel like a lot of people hit a wall in their game because they try new stuff that doesn't immediately work. And I feel like the game is a lot kind of like working out muscles. Your
Mm-hmm.
game's going to kind of break down before it starts building up with the new things that you've learned. And but just never give up. I mean, the game's going to get tough sometimes. You just got to bear through it.
You've got a lot of wisdom for somebody that's so young, sir. A lot of wisdom. I appreciate that. I really do. Okay. So, I'm going to ask you what I ask all the kids. Say somebody gave me a giant bag of money. I had some genie that just appeared and said, you know what? You get 3 wishes. And I know one of your wishes is to have a lot of money to give to these kids. So I gave you a portion of that money. You can't spend it on yourself. What would you do with that money?
Um, I would definitely start out by helping all the juniors that can't afford the equipment that they need to play the game and put it towards that. And then just go from there.
Fantastic. I like that. I like that idea. A lot of the kids told me I want a Moscone cup. Voila. We're going to work on it. That's for sure. Also, Tyler, something that I asked the other kids, what is in your case, sir?
My case.
Yes.
Well, cues wise,
Cues. What kind of equipment do you have? Jump cue, break cue, playing cue? Do
uh,
you wear a glove? Do you have special chalk? Because a lot of these kids have no clue what it means to actually play pool. So this helps them have an idea how much money they're going to need to start playing this game.
so I personally carry a playing cue, break cue, and jump cue. Chalk, and then I carry my like on the sponsors OBQs, and then Brutal Game Gear glove. I have a JB case, Let's see, I use Tim.
Okay.
I
A
think
lot of the
that's
pros use that. They say they like it very well. I know Nick, my friend Nick DeLeon, my other co-host on my other show, he uses that. He loves it. Loves it. He said it's definitely worth the money, is what he says. So, is Dad around anywhere? I have a couple of questions for Pops.
yes. I'll bring him in real quick.
All right. Thank you, Tyler, so much. We're going to talk to Tyler's dad in just a few minutes, and then we're going to talk to the Norfleets because they own Deep Pockets. Hi, Michael. How are you?
I'm doing good, Tracy. How are you today?
I'm fantastic. Your son is lovely. He is such a wonderful young man, and I look forward to seeing his climb in billiards. I had a couple of questions for you. Have you noticed an improvement since Tyler first started playing? He said he started playing competitively around 11. Have you noticed a difference between his attitude, especially between 11 and his age now? While he's
Absolutely. Ty started when he was 2 or 3 years old, really kind of carrying around a full stick. He couldn't do much with it. But he started really getting serious during COVID. He actually got quarantined, with my mother at her house. They had went out somewhere and got exposed, and this was early on in the pandemic. So they quarantined at her house, and she had a pool table there. And he didn't have much to do, so he started spending a lot of time, and that's what really, really kicked it off for him. But I'll be honest with you, since he started the BCA Nationals and playing in the bigger tournaments out in Vegas and the BEFs, I've seen him become a totally different player. He just in the last 2 to 3 months, it seems like every time I see him, he's learned something new and he's grown. So yeah, I've seen a huge difference. And, you know, he's working with Charlie Bryan a little bit, who's a great teacher.
Oh, he absolutely is. And he's a wonderful human being in general. You know, he has a lot of worldly experience and he has a lot to give to these kids. And I couldn't give you a better coach. I really couldn't. He's a fantastic man. The Bryants do a lot for our pool community, and we're very thankful for Charlie and Heather, actually, for both of them. They're very fantastic people. Also, when it comes to these tournaments, have you noticed any mental fatigue, any frustration as the time goes on with Tyler? I mean, he's a little older than some of these kids that I normally interview. I'm sure his attitude is slightly different because he is older, but have you noticed any mental or physical fatigue with him as the time draws closer to the end?
Yeah, he struggles like every kid. He has some issues with, he gets upset when he loses.
Who doesn't?
No, absolutely. I see 40-year-old men here every day that do the same thing. You know, he's going to grow out of that. You know, we try to teach him the best we can about that. But with Tyler's got a very unique condition. About a year ago, he had a foot issue and his foot would swell up. And when I say swell up, it looked like a football. And we finally got some answers after about 4 months of searching. It was very tough for his mom and I. But he had what's called a tarsal coalition. His bones in his foot, the back part of his foot had fused together, and he had lost movement. So when he would walk and it would try to move, it would be very painful. He had a surgery to take care of that, and they were actually able to cut that away and give him full movement back. Unfortunately, it hasn't done away with his pain, and we're looking at another surgery. But if you'll watch any video of Ty playing pool, I know there's a lot out on YouTube from some of the big tournaments he's played in. You'll notice Ty limps real bad, especially towards the end of the day or later in the evenings. He just, when he gets home at night, he can't even hardly walk anymore. So that's something that hopefully this next surgery is going to help take care of. They're wanting to fuse that together so there's absolutely no movement, which would do away with the pain.
Right. Okay.
So we go back to the doctor in a week to see about that. So he's got a lot he deals with pain-wise, especially nights like the other night where he played till 2 o'clock in the morning. He was really, not doing well when he got home. So I try to get him to take it easy, but he's not going to. He's not going to quit.
No, he's not. So if there's anybody out there that is familiar with this particular condition that this child has, please reach out to me if you have any information for the Smiths. They would be more than happy and more than welcoming any information that any of you have. If you guys have someone that you love or someone in your family that has the same condition, just reach out to me and I'll make sure the Smiths gets that information. Let's see. There was another question I wanted to ask you. Tyler's grades. He says he's doing just fine. Have you had to get on to him about any of those issues when it comes to his schooling at all before he attempts to do any of these tournaments, or is he doing what he needs to do to be able to play?
For the most part, he is. He's like any other 14-year-old. He tries to get by on what little he could do sometimes and push the envelope. But he knows that me and his mother aren't going to spend the money and take the time for him to travel if he's not going to put in the effort with the schoolwork, because in our eyes, school's 100% first, and we're not going to let that slide. So, but he's done a great job. He's struggled with the online school a little bit at first, but he's really grown into it really well. And I think he realizes that it gives him a huge advantage to be able to play pool and travel, do the things that most 14-year-old kids wouldn't get to do.
Right.
So he's been to Vegas 3 times in the last 6-8 months.
Right. I think there's been a few this summer, right before summer. Right. There's been quite a few. It seems like they hit you guys all at once with all of these tournaments. It's like, one back to back to back. And I was like, spread them out just a little bit. These kids are on the go 24/7.
Right.
Well, thank you so much, Michael. I just wanted to get the parents' perspective because, while I've launched this campaign to try to get these kids more tournaments and that kind of thing, the sponsors they do want to know what the parents think and how they feel. And with that being said, do you feel that the media, the tournament directors, the venues, all of us, do you think we're doing enough for your kids, or do you think we could do more?
Both, Tracy. I think we could always do more. In my eyes, I've been in the business for 30 years now, over 30 years. My parents opened up a billiards room when I was 13 years old. My focus has been the juniors the last 2 years. Since I started taking an interest in pool again, because I quit playing for 20 years. And when he got reinterested, I started working with him and I started playing again.
Right.
But the one thing I would like to see is, I know you've reached out and you're looking at doing more tournaments across the USA for the scholarship tournaments. And that's the thing right there. My wife is an absolute saint. She's a veterinarian. She owns her own veterinarian clinic here in Tulsa. And without her, we couldn't afford to do what little we do. But we need more regional and local tournaments. These kids shouldn't have to travel to California and to Florida and to Vegas to play in a junior event. I really want to see more junior events on the local and regional level for these kids.
Well, I'm hoping that I'm gathering as much information, and I have actually been able to have some people reach out to me, and they're trying to help. So there was a Scotch doubles event going on in, I believe it's Oregon. I can't remember exactly the location. Oh, Spokane, Washington, actually. And it's where the heavy hitters, your high-ranking people, will pay an entry fee, and they will adopt kind of like a wild draw junior. So the juniors don't technically have to pay for that. And they play a Scotch doubles tournament. So I thought that was interesting, and that may be something we can try to launch in each state, as long as someone in the state says, you know what, we'll do it. And that's where we're coming into the issues. We've got to find more venues that are willing to do this for the kids. I understand their need to make money because that's what they're there for. You know, they want to make money too, but we have to give back in order to receive. So hopefully, along with Deep Pockets and a couple of other fantastic places around the country, will be more forthcoming with trying to help out our kids. So, and I have faith that the United States will rally together and do what's right for these juniors, especially after the World Games this coming up next week. You guys are going to get sick of hearing from me, I promise you. I'm not finished yet. As long as I've got a platform, I'm going to keep screaming from it.
I love it, Tracy. And I'd also, another great venue that's about an hour and a half down the road in Oklahoma City, Chester's. You know, Ty goes up there and plays in a lot of tournaments, and John Barton just recently became a partner and bought that place.
Awesome.
And he is working on doing some stuff with the juniors there. So as long as we keep evolving and getting these owners interested in working with the juniors, whether it's just anything they can do, whether it's a junior league or a tournament for the juniors, some things like that, that's the right direction. We just need them to start getting a little more involved, and I think we'll be okay.
I think it will eventually evolve into that. We just have to keep poking. Just keep poking. My mother always said, "You've been the most aggravating child my entire life. I love you to death, little girl, but you sure know how to get on people's nerves." I was like, "Mom, I'm persistent." is what I would like to call it. I'm persistent. Okay, well, are the Norfleets available to speak with us for a few minutes?
Tyler is walking over to get both of them right now.
So basically, I'm coming to you live from Huntsville, Alabama, but the Smiths are at Deep Pockets in Tulsa. And Deep Pockets, they have revamped the whole place. And Mr. Norfleet is actually a chef. So I'm excited to talk to him. He's been making
down here. When they get sat down here, I will move the camera back and we get them both sitting here at the same time, I think.
Okay, phenomenal. And maybe Ty will play a little bit for us, do you think?
Play pool or
I see the guitar. I see the guitar, both.
Well, he brought it for a reason.
Yay.
All right. Well, I'll get up and let Bruce and Jennifer sit
Thank
here.
you so much for your time, Michael. That was Michael Smith. He's Tyler's father. This is an entire family of billiard players, and you know they're fantastic. And these are the Norfleets, and they just recently picked up Deep Pockets, and they've been doing a lot of changes over there. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Bruce. How are you?
Hey, how are you, girl?
I'm fantastic. I have to get out there. When you said you could make that dessert, I'm like, oh my gosh, how does she not weigh 1,000,000 pounds?
You need to come try the pizza for sure, though. Absolutely.
So tell us a little bit about yourselves and then a little bit about your venue.
So here we've got 18 7-foot diamonds, and then we have 6 9-foot diamonds as well. So we've got a full service kitchen, full service bar. We do a lot here with our pizza oven. So we've got pizza and wings and, good drinks and beer as well. We are all ages. It's going to be 18 and over, except for the parent and guardian. So we definitely want to be able to have like the juniors in here and things like that. So that's why we kind of give up double.
Nice. And Bruce, I believe your expertise is a chef. Is that what you told me?
Don't tell too many people that.
He says he cooks a little, ladies and gentlemen, not a lot, but you see him there all the time.
I do have a culinary degree, 9 years in the field. I enjoy it. So I get to live my passion and play my hobby every day. It's nice.
Do you both play, Jennifer? You and Bruce both play pool? Do you have your own pool league team?
I'm sorry?
Do you guys have your own team?
Oh, yes, actually, yeah.
In all the free time we have, yeah.
Yeah, we do. We play league on Tuesdays. Actually, today. So today
People ask me that all the time. They're like, "Why don't you play pool?" And I'm like, "When do I have time?"
I know we see you all over the place. You're always like, we're talking online, like.
Yeah, I'm doing this while I've got this one over here. My phone, I have to literally put it over somewhere else because I'm either being asked a line on somebody or, and it's usually when I wake up in the morning, I have text messages from parents, about trying to get their child on here or events, and I'm the one that knows everything. And I had no clue I knew that much, but apparently I do. So, what is your next event coming up? I've seen a lot coming out of Deep Pockets.
So we usually have about 9 tournaments a week on Saturdays. So this weekend we have a 480. We have a 480 and under going on with a 600 and under going on at the same time.
Busy.
Our next big event is it next week, the 16th? 16th to 17th, we have a 550 and under. And then August 6th and 7th, we have Indian State, which will be a 2-day event as well.
What kind of hotels do you have close to your venue so that our viewers will know where to stay when they come out to Tulsa?
So we actually have a Hampton Inn right next door. So we share, we back up to their parking lot. So right next door, there's also several here in Sand Springs. They're just a few minutes down the road. So there's a lot of convenience here in this Tulsa Sand Springs area. So
if you guys decide to host the championship event, are you going to talk to the Hampton Inn about getting you guys a deal for the kids?
So he normally blocks 15 rooms for us when we have a big event. I just got to give him a 10-day notice, and he'll block 15 rooms. And then I have another hotel down the street about maybe half a mile, the Magnuson, and it gives us 30 rooms.
Fantastic. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys are traveling out to the Oklahoma area to play in any of these events, make sure that you contact the Hampton Inn and let them know that you're planning on playing in the event, and then they will make sure that you get that discount. Or we can figure out a way where you guys can have like a discount code so that when they call or when they try to reserve that, it goes right back to your venue, and then that should help.
Normally they just tell Deep Pockets at the front desk, and they'll give them the discount.
Fantastic. That's awesome. And that way, this helps our viewers know where to stay when they're out there. I appreciate you guys coming on tonight and letting us know a little bit about your venue. And thank you so much for allowing us and turning the jukebox off long enough for us to talk to Tyler. He's an amazing kid, and I can't wait to get out there. It just seems like every time you guys have an event, I've got something else going on. So
January. Second week of January, don't make any plans. Second week of January, the flyer will be coming out pretty quick. It'll be a big one.
Now, I'll be headed to Derby City Classic at the end of that month, so we'll have to try
it's
to
the warm up
delegate
to the
that.
Derby.
Huh?
Warm up to the Derby.
The Derby is long.
I know.
And I look forward to some of those desserts, Jennifer, that your husband has been talking about. I'm not supposed to have them, but, we'll work something out.
It's okay.
Especially the pizza. I've never been to a venue that has their own pizza oven. That is the first thing I'm taking pictures of, is that pizza oven.
I'll send you some here in a minute.
FedEx better make sure it's hot when it gets here. Thank you guys so much. It was a pleasure. You guys have a great night. We'll see you soon. January. Look forward to it. That was the Norfleets, ladies and gentlemen. They are fantastic people. They are the new owners of which they changed the name, which is Deep Pockets. We're going to have Tyler do something that he enjoys doing, and he's going to play something for us, and then he's going to shoot a little pool. I'm going to go ahead and pop out of the screen so that we can go full screen for you, Tyler. You go ahead and show us what you got, kiddo.
All right. Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome, sweetie.
All right. Hi, once again, I'm Tyler Smith. I'll play a song called Wolves by American Aquarium. I'll be drifter since the day I turned 16. Watch my dad fix up cars and smell gasoline. I wish that someone took the time to warn me about those evil things they lie on the streets. It's when the wolves are hungry, wolves that lily. I wish these wolves get their claws at me. Why ain't it been any good? It ever sticking around? But always be the one that lets you down. Seems like my feet start running before they hit the ground. Just wish they didn't take me to the wrong side of town. It's when the wolves are hungry, the wolves are late. But I wish these wolves get their claws out of me. It's when the wolves are hungry, the wolves are late. I wish these wolves get their claws out of me. I can see the fire in their eyes, blood on their teeth. They can smell the fear in my bones, hear the shaking of my knees. When it's beautiful women, long nights, sweet and bitter nights. I wish these wolves get their claws out of me. I wish these wolves get their claws out of me.
Good job, buddy. Love it. Good job. All right. Well, what we've all been waiting for, I was waiting for that actually. Would you like to hit some balls for us, Tyler?
I'd be happy to.
All right. Tyler's going to hit some balls for us, ladies and gentlemen. Let's check out this kid's stroke. I hear he's got a pretty dang good stroke. This is what I enjoy doing, ladies and gentlemen, is making sure these kids have a voice. It takes a village to raise a pool player, apparently, and it also takes a love of the game. I've been doing this for almost 16 years now, and I couldn't have asked for a better career. So just because I can't play pool anymore doesn't mean I can't do this. So if that means me being a champion for the juniors, then I'll go right on ahead and do it. So we appreciate you guys joining us tonight. And this is Tyler, and he's going to hit some balls for us. So you guys enjoy, and I'll be right back in just a few minutes. Thank you so much, Tyler. You did fantastic. Thank you so much. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Tyler Smith. Don't forget, he's also on TikTok. Would you like to plug your TikTok account so that they can watch some of your videos?
It's at Tyler Smith 4850. That's my TikTok account.
So if you guys want to watch Tyler and his music, that's where you'll find him. And he may have a couple of videos of him shooting pool over on that one as well. Well, we're going to go ahead and let you spend the rest of your evening practicing, Tyler, and I will get with you shortly. So if you'll just hang on before you run off, I'm going to do my closing, and then I want to talk to you for just a second, okay?
All right. Awesome. Thank you, Tracy.
You're welcome, Tyler. So that's Tyler Smith, and he is a 481 coming out of the Oklahoma area. He's at Deep Pockets right now playing pool. As I told you guys earlier, we are working on getting a Moscone Cup type event ready for these kids. At the bottom of your screen, you'll see it scrolling across. That's how you support our junior championship. And these kids deserve it. They asked for a Moscone Cup, and the Diva's going to try to give it to them. So if you guys would like to see that going on, please, please donate. Anyways, I'm going to let you guys go so you can enjoy your evening, and the Diva will be back again on Sunday with another amazing junior player. So don't count me out just yet. You'll see a lot of me coming up soon in the following weeks. I'll also be going to the World Games at the next week, not this week, but next week, starting on Wednesday. So I'll try to go live on my Facebook. So if you guys don't have me on your Facebook right now, it's Tracy Lerma, and it's called the Inside Pool Diva. I'm also on Instagram, Snapchat, and TikTok. So if you guys would like to follow me, just pick up one of those pages, or you can go to my professional page, which is Tracy the Diva Lerma. Thank you guys so much. And remember, it takes a village to raise a pool player, and it also takes a village to create more events. So if you have a host location that you would like to have one of these amazing events for one of these juniors, reach out to me or reach out to Mako Tips at makotips.com. Thank you guys so much, and have a great evening. And I'm going to run Tyler's video one more time so you guys don't forget. Remember, these kids are out here doing what we like to do, so why not support them? So Everybody have a great night, and we'll see you next time. Zadiva signing out.